Hi, everybody. Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm happy to be with you here today. Thanks for joining me. I know a lot of you probably have plans today with it being a national holiday. And if you're watching replay, that is great with me as well. Just let me know in the comments that you're watching replay. I love to know that people have seen my video and are watching it even if they're not here live today. But if you are here live, like Linda Verts, thank you for joining me, Linda. Jump in and let me know that you're here. And I would love to see you and chat with you throughout the process today. Good afternoon. It's not after, well, I guess it is. It just turned 12:01, so I guess it is afternoon now. I know it's frigid cold across the country. It was 15 when I woke up today to go to Cycle Works this morning. So I know if we're cold, everybody's cold. So let's stay cozy inside and let's do some stamping together and enjoy each other's company. Okay? All right. So I don't have a lot to talk to you about today. I closed out my retreat registration last night, but I do want to let my Midland people know that I still have a spot open for the cookie encounter collaboration with Tuttle Up Stamping. We're going to do cookies and cards. It's going to be so much fun. February 10th at 6:30 p.m. here in Midland. You will design two beautiful Valentine cookies, and you will also get a paper pumpkin kit, which makes 9 stunning Valentine cards. So I hope you will enjoy thinking about coming to this event in Midland, Texas on February the 10th. It'll be right here at my house, and I only have a couple of spots open. So think about that. And then last, I want to make sure, hi, Jeanne, that everybody knows that this, hi, Imelda, thanks for joining me, that everyone knows that this is the perfect time to join Stampin' Up! As a team member. That just means you want to get a 20% discount off of all of your orders. If you're already spending $100 or so a month, or if you're a new crafter that just wants to get their craft room stocked at a discount, joining a team is the best way to do that. So right now, Stampin' Up! Has 2 joining specials. One of them is this picture I'm showing you right here. You can get the handmade design stamp sets and 2 full packages of color families of markers. This is a $91 value that you can add on to your starter kit. Or you can just get $30 added on, whatever you want to do. So if you would like to join my team, I would love to have you. I'm going to say this. If you're thinking about joining a team, think carefully with who you joined with. Brenda knows it really does save you money. As a team leader, I don't pressure anyone to do any more than they want to do. If you just want to get your happy little discount for as long as you want, that's fine with me. But if you would like to start a business, I'm here to support you in that as well. If you would like to start making a little money at Stampin' Up. So think about it. Think carefully about who you choose as your team leader. There's a lot of really big names out there that have humongous teams. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the attention that you want or need from your upline. So talk to me about that if you're interested in perhaps joining my team. I'll make sure I put the link to that in the description after this video is over. Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to be doing this week for my online card class to go. So in the mini catalog, starting on page is, maybe it's even before that. Nope. Pages 38, 39, 40, and 41. They are showing you the Beautiful Bokeh Suite. This is one of those suites where you get the stamp set, the dies, the hybrid embossing folder. One of the dies makes a cute little note card where it just cuts out the butterfly from the front edge of it, which is fun. The bokeh paper we have used a lot. That's in this suite as well. And these awesome um, itty bitty bokeh mix, purples, pinks, blues in there, a little berry burst included. So we're going to make 3 cards today using this suite. Then tomorrow I will have a fun fold card for you. That's hard to say. I will have a fun fold card for you. Okay. And then on Wednesday, we'll have a 3D project of some kind for us to do together. Okay. So today, I just want you to realize that everything this week that we're using from now through Wednesday is part of this Beautiful Bokeh Suite. You can get everything shown in this picture here for $79.25. And thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. $79.25 get you everything that you see here. Okay, so great time. If you got that $79.25, then you could choose something for free out of the Sale-a-bration catalog. So I hope I inspire you this week on projects that you can make using this Beautiful Bokeh Suite. I know my grid paper is looking pretty messy, but we're going to keep going with it for right now because, today's pretty messy. So I don't mind. I don't mind it. It'll be okay. If it doesn't bother me, it doesn't bother you. Or I shouldn't say that. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. So here's our first card. It says time to celebrate. We get that embossing folder in the back. We have some of those die cut butterflies, a beautiful combination of calypso coral, pool party, and peach pie. And we're using some of that peach pie glimmer paper on this one. And then here's the inside. Pretty cute. So let me show you how I put this together. We have a piece of calypso coral that's cut 5.5 by 8.5 and scored down the middle at 4 1/4. I'm going to use my bone folder to get me a really good crease on that. Okay, next I have a piece of pool party. Get on my pieces here. That is cut 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have already embossed. Let me show you this awesome embossing folder. I've already embossed. I don't know. Can you see that? There we go. This embossing folder is awesome. And you can actually use one of the dies right here. That's why it's called hybrid. That will cut and emboss that butterfly at the same time. We're not doing that today, but we will do it in the future here in the next couple of days. So I already took a piece of white that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I have embossed it with that embossing folder. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to set this on here, and I'm going to kind of offset it a little bit, right like that. Here, I need to zoom in a little bit, don't you think? Let's see what we can do here. All right, there we go. So I'm going to put those together. I'm going to add some Seal Plus to my pool party here. But then I'm going to offset it right like just a little bit, right like that. Okay? Then I'm going to grab my peach pie ribbon. This is the peach pie stitched edge. I think it's called stitched edge. Bordered ribbon. I'm going to wrap it around here. Let's do our measurement. What have I taught you? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more. Okay, 4 and a little bit more is the length that you need to tie a bow. Okay, so this is going to go over here on this side. I'm going to pull it a little bit. I'm going to tie it in a bow over here on the side. Good afternoon, Laura Kemp. Thanks for joining us today. How's Florida today? Jim's nervous that when we come, we're coming February 5th through the 8th, that it's going to be cold. Is it cold or is it in the 70s and 80s? I'm hoping it'll be in the 70s and 80s when we're there, or even 90s. I could even take that as well. Okay, so here's my ribbon tied around my panels. I'm going to suture it up just a little bit there and cut this corner off. And now I am going to pop this up on my card front right like that. Okay, so I'm going to use some dimensionals on the back. Oh, it's around 45. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining me today. Always love it when you're here. Looks like everybody's coming from Facebook today. I hope that means I am still streaming on YouTube. There we go. So I'm going to use a hefty amount of dimensionals there and attach this to my card front. I'm using the use your fingernail method for taking the backings off. All right, so this is going to go right on the front of my card, right like that. Okay, now I have 2 pieces of Calypso coral that I've cut out using my Stitched Shapes dies, and this is the fat, longer banner. And I'm going to do a little bit of embossing on this. Let me grab my mat here. So on this, I'm going to emboss it in white. First of all, I'm going to use my embossing buddy. This just helps take the static off your piece of paper so that you don't get those little speckles we sometimes get when we're embossing. You know, the kind that are hard to get off once it's embossed, right? I'm going to take my stamp that says Time to Celebrate and my Versamark ink. Versamark is just a clear sticky ink that allows the embossing powder to stick to the ink. So I'm going to try to line this up, get really straight here. There we go. I have my, hi Veda from Indiana. Nice to have you here. Hi Dana Cherry. Thanks for joining. I'm going to take my white embossing powder and we're going to sprinkle it over. Tap, tap, tap. I might do it one more time to make sure I've got a really good coverage there. Okay. And I'm going to grab my heat tool. Add some heat, and you can do this from the top and bottom, but I think for you guys it's kind of cool to be able to see it from the bottom. So I'm going to hold it right up here. I'm going to heat it from the bottom, and you'll be able to see the change that happens in that embossing powder. It's going to change from being dull, can you see it going there on the T and the A, to being bright and shiny and solid. So let me turn this over the other way. Get the T and the I there. Let me take a look here. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to go over it one more time to be safe. You don't want to do it too long because, here, I'm struggling to get that off. There we go. If you do it too long, it kind of burns it, right? So just long enough so that it changes from dull to shiny. And now this is going to get popped up right here on the front of my card. Okay, so I chose to add minis. Yes, thank you, Dana. I always need those prayers for promising results, right? You never know with embossing, really, but it is kind of magic when it goes well. I'm putting mini dimensionals along just along my very edge here of this label because I want to kind of sandwich that ribbon inside these minis, pop it up over it. So here we go. We're going to be using minis a lot today. Sometimes I don't use them very often, but then when you need them, right? It's like those weird tools in your kitchen, like a pineapple slicer. You don't use it very often, but when you need it, you really need it. There we go. Okay, so there's the front of my card so far. I'm going to pull this just a little bit tighter and shorter here. And then I'm going to cut some of these ends off of my ribbon. All right, I have pre-cut some dies for us. I have two, and let me show you that die set real quick. Here's our die set. So all kinds of different shapes and styles of butterflies. You got small detail, small solid, big detail, big solid. You got this piece right here that you can put on the edge of a note card and it will flip just the butterfly open. It's super cool. And then a couple of neat labels. I like that the two small detailed butterflies have two solid bodies and two smalls, right? That saves you a lot of time in die cutting. Okay, so what I've cut here is I have two Calypso corals, solids. I have Pool Party in detail, and then I have two Glimmer, and this is cut out of that Peach Pie Glimmer paper, Glimmer bodies, and then I have a detail in Glimmer, and then I have a Peach Pie detail as well. Okay, so we're going to put these all together. It's super fast and easy. Let me get my Versamark out of the way here. We won't need that anymore. And my ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to be using some liquid glue here. I'm going to glue this blue detailed piece. This is Pool Party. All right. There we go. The blue is going to get attached right inside that Calypso coral there. Yep, right, Lisa? Like, they're good to have in your arsenal, right? For when you need them, those mini glue dots. Okay, and then I'm going to take our shimmery bodies cut out of the Peach Pie Glimmer paper. And I'm going to attach that on top of these blue right here. Cute, huh? And then this one over here. There we go. And then my Glimmer detail is going to get this solid peach pie body added to it. Right there. Kind of brings it all together, doesn't it? Okay, so now all I need to do is take these solid butterflies. I'm going to add a couple of big dimensionals to the back. I'm not used to this mat being this far up, so sorry if I go out of the screen. You guys can yell at me. Get back in the screen. I know how frustrating that can be when you're trying to watch somebody and they're outside of outside of the camera. Okay, so that one's going to go right there. This big solid one is going to go right down here towards the bottom. There we go. I think I'm going to put him right like that. And then this one, I'm going to take those minis again, and I'm just going to put a mini right here inside that body part, right like that, okay? The center of the body, and it's going to overlap this label just a tiny bit, right like that. Cute, huh? All right, now for the inside, super simple. I've got, again, a piece of Pool Party and a piece of basic white. The Pool Party is 4 by 5 1/4, and the basic white is 3 3/4 by 5. And all I'm going to stamp on this is with some Calypso Coral here. I'm going to stamp my stamp that has the detailed butterfly on it right here in this corner, like that. And then my sideways butterfly, Calypso Coral, is going to go right up in that corner, right like that. So I would say this is the easiest of the 3 cards we're going to do today. I'm kind of trying to start easy, go a little harder as we go. So this is a card class that you can get in the mail. If you place an order of $40 or more in my online store this week, the Bokeh Butterfly Beautiful Bokeh Suite. Tomorrow, on top of the 3 cards I'm making today, tomorrow's will be a fun fold, and Wednesday's will be a 3D item. So fun projects for you. I hope you love them. Hope you love them enough that you want to get the card class in the mail and get your kit to go, right? Okay, so here we go. There's the inside of my card. And then all I'm going to do next is add some of these bokeh dots to my card front. And I really want just the blue ones. We're going to use all of them before the day is over here. And the best way I have found, these are not self-adhesive. They're just loose, and you'll see why they need to be here in just a little bit. I'm just going to add a few dots of glue to my, that's going to be hard to see because there's kind of white dots on there. I'm going to put one right up here, and then one maybe kind of in between the 2 right there. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. A little more putty coming out here. I'm going to pick up a dot and just lay it on top. Use my fingernail just to put it in place. You could also use your reverse tweezers if you have them. There you go. And that is card number 1. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Super simple, right? Fun. I love the colors. Trying to bring out the colors in those bokeh dots. So remember, when you take the class to go, you're going to get one of each card and the fun fold and the 3D project that we're doing on Wednesday. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. So here's card number 1. I like the shimmer of that peach pie and those bokeh dots. I hope you guys like that card. Okay, so let me put this one away. My next card is going to be a shaker card. Got to do a shaker card if you have these bokeh dots, right? So here's our shaker. Woo! Can you see those dots shaking around in there? I think I should have added a little more. And then here's the inside. I just added a little row of bokeh dots across the bottom there. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did this. I started with a card base that is Azure Afternoon, 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4.25. I'm going to put that aside, but first I'm going to use my bone folder and get a really good crease on it right there. Okay. I have a piece of bubble bath that is 4 by 5.25. Okay, right smack in the middle of this, I am going to take my butterfly die right here, and I am going to die cut it out. So I have some Post-it note tape to hold it in place. That looks pretty good to me right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go off here to my die cutting machine, and I'm going to die cut the center of this butterfly out. Okay. Shaker cards are really easier than they look, I think, which is always impressive. Now, so this is the center right here that I just die cut out, and I'm just going to save this for another project. I'm going to put it in my stash over here. Don't want to throw that butterfly away, right? Okay, here we go. I'm going to get off my die here. Okay, so here's my bubble bath with the butterfly cut out of the middle. And I'm going to grab my stamp that is the Bokeh dots here, and my pool, no, I said that wrong, bubble bath ink pad. Okay, and I'm just going to take my Bokeh dots and I'm going to stamp them all the way around the outside of this butterfly. Very easy to do. I can just turn it as I go here. It's okay if they overlap, because that's what Bokeh dots do, right? So do you guys know what bokeh is? Bokeh is just, yes, pay attention, Dana, because you'll see it's really not that hard. It does take a little practice. I am not going to lie. I was not a good shaker card person at the very beginning. I've taught a few classes on making shaker cards, and there's lots of different kind of ways you can go about it. There's a faux shaker where you use a clear, Stampin' Up! Clear envelope to make the shaker card, which is really fun and kind of easy. Okay, so there we go. I've stamped those Bokeh dots all the way around my butterfly. Then I have a piece of basic white that is cut 3 3/4. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Azure Afternoon. Here, I've got stuff flailing around all over the place here. I need to get myself kind of organized. Go back here. Okay. This is 4 3/4 by 3.5. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my card front. Kind of make it even on all 4 sides as best I can. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. I'm going to need it closer to me. Now this pink, is going to go right on top here, and we're going to create our shaker. So to hold that in place, I am going to use some Post-it note tape here. I'm going to get it exactly how I want it. There we go. And there we go, right there. Okay. I'm going to ink up my butterfly in Blueberry Bushel ink. Hi, Sue. Thanks for joining us today. I'm in the process of making a shaker card using the Beautiful Bokeh butterflies. Okay, I'm going to pull this back in. I'm going to pull it closer to me here so I can see. And I'm just going to fit this in right inside that die cut butterfly. Press it well. Ah, beautiful, right? That's always a little scary. Now I'm going to pull this off. That was just my stencil for getting the butterfly in the right spot. I'm going to close up my blueberry bushel. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so now we are going to take a piece of acetate. And was I smart enough to put it in here? Oh, you know what? I thought it was, hang on, I think I'll find it. I might have to cut another one. I think I accidentally threw it away. I thought it was a piece from my stamp pad. So let me grab another piece of acetate here. Maybe it's good for you to see this process. So we sell these acetate sheets. They're just clear window sheets, okay? I think that's even what they're called in the catalog, clear window sheets. And this one I am going to cut to the same size I cut the white. It's going to be 3.5. There we go. By 4 3/4. There we go. Okay. So this acetate sheet, window sheet, is going to go right over our pink butterfly right here. So I'm just going to add my Seal Plus around the edges of my butterfly. It doesn't have to encompass the whole thing, just enough to hold the window in place here. There we go. And the window is going to go right over that butterfly space right there. Okay, so it's going to create a window like that. Okay. Now, Sue, well, hopefully you'll see that it's not that hard. Now, what I'm going to do here is I have these strips, and these strips make all the difference. They're adhesive, they're foam, they're like dimensionals on strips is basically what they are. One side, when you pull it off, is going to be sticky. And you guys, you don't have to have it all up in all those crevices, okay? As long as when you put this tape around the edges, there's not any holes between the tape that those embellishments can sneak in, okay? So you can just keep going around your butterfly here with straight edges. They don't have to be curvy. The only time I have curved this and it works well is when you're doing it on a circle, right? And you need to have kind of a curved edge to it. See, it does have some give there. I was able to kind of curve it around that. But here, I'm not going to try to get all up in that antenna and everything. I'm just going to make sure there's no gaps here between my foam adhesive tape here, strips. Okay, I'm just going to keep going around. There we go. And then hopefully, sometimes the magic, look at that. See, sometimes the magic happens and it all kind of lines up perfectly together. Okay, so there we go. I've covered around my butterfly so those bokeh dots won't slip out. They'll hit that. Now, what I have found is, instead of using dimensionals in the corner, go ahead and take this tape and put it around these outside edges. And then the whole thing will be popped up and you won't have gaps in those edges, okay? So here we go. I'm going to go around this edge. You don't have to worry about them butting against each other. It can just go inside here like this. Just enough to hold those edges up. Another one right here. There we go. And maybe I'll cut a little piece right inside that spot right there. Okay, right like that. I have all my adhesive strips down. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back in right here. I'm going to start pulling off these adhesive backings on everything, the whole butterfly. And trust me, if you miss a spot, you're going to notice it, and those embellishments are going to start coming out, and you're going to have a hard time lifting this up to, sorry, I'm doing this off camera, aren't I? Okay, all I'm doing is peeling off the wax paper toppings on all of these strips, okay? Have you even done a faux shaker card before, Sue? It's even easier than this. My friend Rosemary Gonzalez demonstrated it at an onstage one year, and everybody was just blown away. We were like, what? It's that easy? Okay. This outside piece here. And this outside piece here. So I think that's all of them. Okay. So I've got all my backings off. So I'm going to grab my bokeh dots. Hopefully. Geez, oh, here they are right here. Good night, Agnes, Irene, Fred. Okay, so I'm just picking up some pinches and I'm just putting them, kind of trying to keep them inside the butterfly, okay, like that. I'm going to put a few up here in this little wing and then a few up here in this little wing like that. Cute, right? And maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe a little bit more right there. Okay. Yeah. Not a sandwich bag. I used a clear envelope when I did it, Sue. But you could probably use a sandwich bag. Okay. So I'm going to bring this again, you guys, a little closer to me. Because what we're going to do is we're going to place this pool party butterfly with the window sheet in it right on top. Okay, I need to have it a little bit closer, sorry. Right on top of that blueberry bushel, and you're trying to kind of get the edges in the right spot. There we go. Press down. And look, there you go. There's our little shaker card. Isn't that fun? So fun. Okay, so now we're close to being done. I'm going to take a piece of basic white, and I have a stamp that says happy birthday, and I'm going to stamp it in blueberry bushel onto a white piece of paper here, white scrap. There we go. I'm going to grab my label off of my bokeh butterfly dies, and I'm going to move it so that the happy birthday is a little more towards the left side. And then I'm going to go over here to my die cutting machine, and I'm going to die cut that out really quick. There we go. And my paper cutter, I want my little arm. I'm going to just cut this edge off right here, like that. So I just cut a straight edge off right there. Okay, so let me get this out of the way for a moment. Close that up before it becomes a disaster. Now this is going to go right here on my edge, but what I did is we cut a piece of that iridescent ribbon in half because it was just too bulky on there with the butterfly and everything. So we cut it in half. It doesn't fray. This ribbon's very forgiving. And we're going to tie a faux bow. I'm going to grab a piece of tearing tape and tear it and put it in the place where it belongs. And then my label will cover up where the tearing tape is, right? Okay, here we go. I'm going to scrunch that right about there. Add my tearing tape. I might need one more piece of tearing tape. So, anybody doing anything fun on their day off today? I didn't even realize it was a holiday because, you know, I'm retired. So I got up and looked to see if there were any sub openings at the school that I'm subbing at, and there weren't. And I'm like, gosh, kind of surprised. But I shouldn't have been because it's their day off. Okay, so scissors. We need to, here they are. Cut these ends off here. And this is going to get popped up right on top right there. Okay, so I'm going to add my dimensionals. You know, everything would be easier to find if I would actually put things back where they came from. My mom used to always say that to me. Judy, you wouldn't lose things if you just put them where they belonged. Probably true, Mom, probably true. But something about my brain doesn't do it that way, right? How about you guys? Are you really super? I need my friend Brenda, who's watching, is very organized. I need her in my life. My friend Jenny, who helped me a lot in Lincoln, they have those organized brains, right? They just say, why are you doing it that way? There we go. Happy birthday. Cute, right? Now, I'm going to do the inside. And all I have to do on the inside is I have a panel of 4 by 5.25. I'm going to bring my sheet over here. And I'm going back to these bokeh dots. And I'm going to do the bokeh dots in 2 different colors, just kind of around the bottom edge. One more right there. Okay. And then I grabbed my blueberry bushel. And I'm filling in some of those gaps with the blueberry bushel. We'll turn it this way. There we go. This is going to go on the inside. I'm going to add a few of those bokeh dots around my butterfly on the outside. And card number 2 will be good to go. There we go. So I'm going to put some of my little bokeh dots out on my grid paper here, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. You even get these, I don't know if you can see this pink bubble. Super fun. So I'm going to do just what I did last time. I'm going to cuss at my liquid glue that doesn't want to come out for me right this second. Okay, let me grab my pen again here. Close that up. Okay, I'm going to add some dots. I'm going to put one right here on my label, one below it. I'm not going to pay a whole lot of attention on what colors I'm putting where. I'm really just scattering them around. I'm going to put 2 dots over here. There we go. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, which I put exactly where it should be. I'm going to put the lid back on this liquid glue before it gels over again. See, I can do it if I just make a mindful... Do it, Judy, just do it. Okay, so I'm just going to use my fingernail. There we go. And put a little berry burst one right up here for some new color. Here's the blue one. I really like these kind of iridescent ones right here. They're super fun. It's going to go right there on my label. Put another blue one over here. And then maybe another iridescent one right there. Then I can just take my paper and put this right back in the canister. You can do it. You guys can do it. You just saw me do it. So if you ever need inspiration, just come here. So here we go. What do you guys think? Do you like that shaker? It's fun, I think. I think it still could have used a little more dots in there, but that's okay. And then there's the inside of our card. So that is card number 2. Let me put it back in the sleeve where it came from. And then my last card is super fun. I think you guys are going to love it as well. Here we go. So here's card number 3. We've got a lot of things going on in this card. In case you need me, I'm here. How lovely is that card? Okay, so let's get it going. I know this class is a little longer today than normal, but if you stick with me, we'll get through it together. Okay, so all of our cards today are 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. That's what we're doing today on all these cards. Tomorrow is the fun fold, right? I'm not sure. What time will I be here tomorrow? I'm guessing I'll be here about 10 a.m. But look for the Magic Penguin. He will tell you when to come. Okay, so I've embossed that white piece again with that embossing folder. It is going to go right here on the front of our card. And I don't like to put Seal Plus on embossed images, so I am just going to add the Seal Plus right here to my card front, and then I'm going to place this right on top here where I want it to be, right like that. Okay, then we have a piece of that bokeh paper, and this is that balmy blue with the bokeh dots on it, and I'm going to add adhesive to this. Whoop, whoop. Do you like my sound effects, my glue sound effects? Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's going to go right, kind of catty corner, right like that. Okay? I have cut one of those arches out of the everyday arches. I've been talking about this a lot because our craft along next week is using this set. So it has several different arches. Look at all these different sizes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 arches. And I used this one right here, I'm pretty sure. Might have been, oh no, the size bigger. This is the one that's about 3 by 4. inches wide and long, 3 by 4. Okay, so I've got that white. I'm going to grab my blending brush and we're going to add a little bit of blue inside the top here of this arch to look like sky. So I'm going to softly add some balmy blue ink right at the top right there. Okay? Okay. I have already cut a piece of that Bloom Impressions paper. I'm going to turn it this way because I like the grass going up like this. This is 2 3/4 by 1. 1 by 2 3/4. It's going to go right here across the middle of my arch. And then I cut a little scalloped piece right here. And it came from the, oh my gosh, can't remember the name. It's the one that makes the rosettes and all the circles, and maybe somebody out there can remember it. But this makes those accordion circle thingamabobbers, and one side has a scallop edge and one side has like a zigzag edge. If someone out there remembers the name, remind me, because it has totally... So I just cut the scallop edge. I cut a piece of paper 1/2 inch wide and cut the scallop side out of it. Can you guys see that? Okay, so that's terrible that I can't remember the name, but I'll put it in the description when I'm through here. I'm going to add this scalloped edged piece to the top of my designer series paper. Just gives it a little interest, little pizzazz right there. Okay, I know it starts with an R. Let me see if I can see it up here. Round we go. It's called Round We Go. Round we go. So, okay. So next, I'm going to stamp on this. I almost forgot to do that last time. Memento black ink. And I'm going to stamp, if you need me, I'm here. In case you need me, I'm here. You got a friend in me, right? There we go. In case you need me, I'm here. So pretty. Okay, now, I cut a basic white butterfly, and I'm actually going to use my blends to color this. So the top half of my butterfly is going to be Berry Burst. I'm just taking my blends. This is the dark. I'm not trying to shade anything. I'm just coloring. Could have used markers as well. Okay, so I want to make sure no white is showing. So if I see white, I'm just going to hit it with my blend pen here. I'm going to do the same thing over here on this other side. Blends are an investment, I know, but you guys, once you start using blends, you will love them. You will love, love, love them. Okay, I want to make sure I get all my edges really good there. There we go. Okay. I think I see a little white right there. Oh, I see a little white right there. I'll just probably keep going in and adding a little bit as we go along. Then the bottom part of the butterfly is going to be Daffodil Delight. Okay. So I'm just coloring all those little pieces with Daffodil Delight. Okay, let me see here. Looks like I got the daffodil pretty well. I'm still seeing a little bit of places with the berry burst here I need to get. Let me look. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, so I have a piece of basic white, and I'm going to attach these together. Okay, so I'm going to put my liquid glue, which I hope will come out. Yep, right there. Add my body, which is basic white. Okay, now I'm seeing another little place right here. It's kind of like when you're painting a wall, you start seeing white spaces. Okay, so I think I got it. This is going to pop up here on my arched panel. First, I'm going to put my arched panel on my card, and I'm going to use dimensionals behind it. So happy Martin Luther King Day. Congrats if you got the day off of work today. It's a big day in our American history, right? Okay. At the end, you can vote and tell me which one you like the best. This one is pretty cute, I have to tell you. It's a little more involved, but it's pretty cute. Okay, so here we go. And then this butterfly is going to get popped up right here, okay? But before we pop it up, we're going to add some linen thread. And so to get that linen thread to stick to this butterfly, you see how skinny that is right there? I'm going to grab some glue dots, and I'm going to run some glue dots right down the middle of this butterfly's body. There's the head, the middle of his body here, just to give something for that. Here, I have an easier time if I go this other way. This way. Something for that linen thread to hold on to. There we go. I'm going to do one more down here at the bottom. And then I'm just going to loop that linen thread behind the butterfly and just kind of stick it to some of those places where I have those glue dots, okay? So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to loop. I'm going to press it in, loop around. I want to make sure it's going to loop to where we're going to see it behind the butterfly, right? Here we go. Another little loop going that way. Here we go. Another little loop going this way. And maybe one more kind of down here. Just keep pressing it in, looping and pressing it into those glue dots. After I cut this off, there we go. I'm going to just let that go right like that. It's supposed to look messy. It's not supposed to look all put together. I'm going to grab some minis. Now, I found that it even helped to cut some minis in half. I'm going to add some to the body right here. So I just took my paper snips and I just snipped right down the middle of a row of those minis. So I'm making my minis minier. And I'm going to add to the body here. Okay. And then I'm going to put a couple of minis on the wings over here. And I need those half ones as well. You guys ever had to cut your minis in half? Maybe they need to make some mini miniers. They would probably be hard to get off the paper though, wouldn't they? Okay. Here's my little half minis right here. I'm going to keep going and put one right there on that wing and maybe one more down here on the butterfly body. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take the backings off of all of these. There we go. You can pull those pieces out and around here, and I'm just going to adhere that right there. Got to make sure I'm not going off the top, which I am, so I need to move this down a little bit. There we go. Cute, huh? I love it. And now we're going to add some of those bokeh dots around. Well, let's do the inside first. So the inside, I'm going to put this piece of a 1/2-inch piece of DSP to the bottom. I didn't do that on the last card and I kind of regretted it. So we're going to do it now on this one. Okay. And then I'm going back to those bokeh dots, but this time I'm going to stamp them. Let me clean it off from the last. And I'm going to clean off my detailed butterfly as well. Make sure I'm not mixing my colors there, right? Put some things away, Judy. Get some things out of the way here. All right, and then for the inside, I'm going to grab that Daffodil Delight and the Berry Burst. And with the Daffodil Delight, I'm going to do those bokeh dots on the inside here, but I'm going to stamp them off first. I want it to be very subtle, okay? So stamp off, just add a bunch of those dots right here in this corner. Maybe a little bit more, stamp off. There we go. Some bokeh dots there. Can you guys see that? It's pretty subtle. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my detail butterfly and I'm going to stamp them coming right out of those bokeh dots right there. Right like that. Cute. This is going to go inside. And add some of those bokeh dots to the outside here. I'm purposely going to grab the ones that look a little more iridescent. I'm going to pull these out here. I like the iridescent ones for this card front. I'm going to do just what I've done on all the other cards and put some dots. I might cut that little piece right there a little bit. There and there and there. Grab it with my Take Your Pick tool. So consider adding this suite to your collection. I think it's one that will be useful for lots of years in your life. Get the class to go so you have some already pre-made ideas for you all in place, and get a celebration item when you buy the suite. There we go. So I'm going to pull out all my cards here. Let me put some things away. So here's card number 3. If you're watching, I would love you to share some love and likes. Share it out to your friends. Show them things that we've made today. How cute are these? Did you guys fall in love with shaker cards? Does it make you want to try it? I showed you if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I am kind of all thumbs on those kinds of things. So, and then here was our first card. Which is your favorite? I don't know. I think it's hard to choose. So vote in the comments what your favorite was. I kind of have a tie of my favorite between two of them. I'll let you guess what those are. So, I'm going to come back to my face here. Thanks for joining me. I loved making these cards with you today, and join me tomorrow. I'm guessing it'll be around 10 a.m. For a fun fold card using the Beautiful Bokeh butterflies. And then on Wednesday, I will be here with a 3D boxy item for you to put treats in and give to a friend. So, hi, Bill. Thanks for joining me. I didn't know you were here. Hi, Brenda. The first card is Brenda's favorite. The last one is Bill's favorite. Jan can't decide. She decides she loves them all, which is, heartwarming as well. So God bless. I'll see you back here tomorrow. It should be a shorter video tomorrow. So talk to you soon. Bye-bye.